Scientists think your urge to drink alcohol started 10 million years before humans existed. Not a typo. 10 million. Before language, before fire, before anything you'd call human. Something was already happening. Something that would end up shaping your brain, your cravings, even your Friday nights. But you need to see the evidence first. Because here's the strange part. Nature invented alcohol long before we did. It didn't come from a bottle. It didn't come from a person. It came from something falling on the ground and rotting. And whatever found that rotting fruit first, it changed everything. Not just for one animal, for an entire evolutionary path. One that eventually led, in a roundabout and unlikely way, to you. Stay with this. Somewhere in a forest, millions of years ago, ripe fruit drops from a branch. It sits in the heat. Wild yeast starts breaking down the sugar inside. That process makes a byproduct. Ethanol, alcohol. For a primate wandering the forest floor, hungry, competing for food, that smell wasn't a warning. It was a signal. Food is near. Now here's the twist most people never hear. The primates who could smell that signal from farther away, they ate more. They survived more. They passed that trait forward, generation after generation. This wasn't a choice they made. It was biology, quietly picking winners one nose at a time. But smelling alcohol is one thing. Surviving it is another. Around 10 million years ago, something shifted inside the DNA of the ancestor shared by humans, chimpanzees, and gorillas. A single mutation. It affected an enzyme in the mouth and throat called ADH4. Before this mutation, that enzyme could barely process alcohol at all. After it, the enzyme became roughly 40 times more efficient. 40 times. In 2014, scientists reconstructed millions of years of primate DNA to trace exactly when this happened. The timing lined up almost perfectly with something else. That's when our ancestors came down from the trees. That's when they started spending real time on the forest floor, right where the fermenting fruit would be waiting. The researcher behind that discovery, Matthew Kerrigan, had just found something remarkable. Your body didn't stumble into tolerating alcohol. It evolved specifically to handle it. That upgrade is still inside you, right now, quietly running every time you take a sip. But if your body was built for this, why does it punish you the next morning? Here's where everything changes. Evolution wasn't preparing you for a Saturday night. It was preparing you for the occasional overripe mango, maybe 2% alcohol, not a shot glass at 40%. Your ancient reward system was calibrated for scarcity. Modern alcohol floods it. That first sip triggers dopamine, the same chemical that once told your ancestors, keep eating this, it's good for you. That's not weakness. That's a 10 million year old signal, firing exactly as designed. But your liver can only break down alcohol at a fixed rate. No matter how good your ADH4 enzyme is, drink faster than your body can clear it, and a toxic byproduct builds up in your blood. Acetaldehyde. That's the headache, the nausea, the fog that makes Sunday feel unrecoverable. Your body isn't malfunctioning. It's punishing you on purpose, so you'll stop, so you'll remember. One of the oldest warning systems you have, just never built for modern quantities. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The worse you feel the next morning, the more efficiently your ancient warning system actually worked. A brutal hangover isn't a sign your body failed. It's a sign it succeeded. It just succeeded at a job that no longer matches the world you live in. Think about the last time alcohol smelled good to you. Maybe wine at dinner. Maybe a drink after a brutal week. Your brain just fired a circuit older than your species. But scientists later found something even stranger. This craving isn't unique to humans. On the island of St. Kitts, researchers have spent decades studying vervet monkeys with an unusual habit. They drink alcohol, fermented sugarcane, often stolen straight from tourists' abandoned drinks on the beach. Watch them long enough, and something uncomfortable starts to show. Their drinking patterns look eerily familiar. Most drink socially, in moderation, then stop. Some avoid it completely, turning their heads away from it every time. But a small percentage drink heavily, repeatedly, almost compulsively, even when it costs them. Sound familiar? Researchers studying these monkeys found the same rough percentages you'd find in human populations, the same split between moderate, occasional, and heavy drinkers. This isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern stretching across species, a thread connecting you to a forest, to fruit, to survival strategies older than your own species. And here's the part that should really stop you. If a monkey with no bars, no bottles, no advertising can still fall into heavy, compulsive drinking, The pull was never about culture. It was already sitting in the biology. We just built a world that feeds it constantly. Now here's something most people never connect. Every bar, every liquor aisle, every ad showing a cold drink on a hot day, every single one of them is aiming at the exact same ancient trigger your ancestors used to find food in a forest. You're not imagining that pull. You're not weak for feeling it. You're standing in the middle of a system built almost perfectly to activate a 10-million-year-old craving on command. And it works. Not because you're broken, because it was designed to work on a brain exactly like yours. That's the part nobody puts on the label. So what does this actually mean for you? It means that pull you feel isn't a personal flaw. It's an echo, a signal that traveled through 10 million years, through a genetic mutation in your ancestors' mouths, through generations who survived because they could find fermenting fruit before anyone else. Your brain is still listening for that signal, even though the forest is gone, even though starvation isn't the threat it once was. The signal never got the update. Your brain still treats alcohol like a rare, valuable calorie source, worth seeking out at almost any cost. Except now, it's not rare. It's on every shelf, in every quantity, available whenever you want it, day or night, no forest required. That mismatch between an ancient reward built for scarcity and a modern world built on abundance isn't just an interesting fact. It's the real engine behind cravings. It's the real reason one drink can quietly become four. It's a big part of why some people can take it or leave it, while others feel like they're negotiating with something bigger than willpower, something that doesn't fully make sense to them either. Because it isn't really about willpower. It's about a 10-million-year-old system meeting a world it was never built for. A system designed for rare fruit, now facing unlimited shelves. This won't change how you drink tonight. Maybe it shouldn't. But next time you feel that pull, or wake up regretting how far you took it, remember what's actually happening underneath. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're negotiating with an ancestor, one who climbed down from the trees, followed a smell, and survived because of it. That ancestor never saw a liquor store, never saw a happy hour, never saw a bottle designed to be irresistible. They just followed a scent through the trees. On a day when food was scarce and every calorie mattered, you inherited that same nose, that same wiring, that same reward. You just inherited it into a completely different world. The forest disappeared. Your instincts never did.